there's one big thing that you need to know about graphic design services. This unlimited graphic design, it's a little bit misleading. It's really not unlimited graphic design. It's unlimited graphic production. For those of you who were asking about the blue shirt on yesterday's broadcast, here you go. Blue shirt right here. This is the consistency is key right here. See? Consistency, and then there's a giant key. Whoop. Giant key. Well, you see it there, a giant key. Hope everyone's doing well. And I wanted to get on, do this broadcast today to answer the question that often comes up when we're talking about different services with clients. And it's this idea of unlimited graphic design services. Unlimited graphic design services. You see them popping up in your Facebook feed. You see unlimited graphic design services pop up in Google searches. If you're using Fiverr, then you've probably seen them pop up into different conversations about Fiverr. And they're really cool services, but there's one big thing that you need to know about graphic design services, is it's really not unlimited graphic design. It's unlimited graphic production. And what I mean by that is what you really get with unlimited graphic services is a whole bunch of graphics produced in a short period of time. So you're not really getting high-end design. So if you're thinking, man, I need graphics for my business, I need a new logo, I need to get some design for some PDFs, I want to do some freebies, I want to do some downloads, I really want to get some webinar graphics, some social media graphics. If you sign up for an unlimited graphic service, what you're really going to be getting is unlimited graphic production. And why do I say this? Because what you're getting, and it makes sense, is you're getting somebody who's taking a short blurb about what you say you need, giving it to someone who's completely unfamiliar with your brand, unfamiliar even with your country sometimes, much less your industry and the industry in the particular country that you're living, and they're trying to interpret it. But if you're really looking for unlimited graphic design, it doesn't exist. Unlimited graphic production exists, but unlimited graphic design doesn't. Where you wind up the designs are inconsistent across the board. If project A is worked on one designer and then project B is worked on by a different designer, it's going to be inconsistent. Our experience has been that you're really not getting graphic design services, you're getting graphic production. And so a lot of them will say that you can do designs and there'll be a 24-hour turnaround, and that's great. A lot of them will say that you'll get a dedicated designer, and that's fine if your dedicated designer is good. And really, honestly, it's kind of a double-edged sword with a dedicated designer. On the positive side, you get that dedicated designer and you feel like, okay, well, I'm going to get some consistent designs. But on the negative side, it's only one person. Meaning, if you put something in today and you're looking for a 24-hour turnaround, that 24-hour turnaround with the same designer, it's unrealistic. And that's what we found to be the case. The service that we're using right now, I would say we probably have 3 different designers who will typically work on our stuff. And their turnaround time is actually pretty good. We can count on 24 to 48-hour design. The weekend, they don't design on the weekend. You don't hardly ever get any projects delivered to you on the weekend. And then there are occasions where you'll have to bump something back up to the top because it'll go 2, 3, 4 days in a row where nobody responds to your project. And so you kind of have to bump it up. What's the service name? Design Seed, right there. And so they're the best ones that I've used. We use the agency license and the agency plan, and that's $399 a month for 2 projects at a time. So that's another thing to talk a little bit about. The way these work is per project at a time. So what'll happen is it's unlimited graphic design. So you can send 15 projects all at once. However, they're only going to work on 1 or 2 or whatever your plan is at a time. So you might upload 15, but it would probably take about 45 days to get through all of those 15, because what happens is you put in the request, they send back graphic number 1. Then you send back changes, and they send back graphic number 2. So that's 2 days right there. Then you send back final changes, they send back graphic number 3. That's 3 days. And then finally you ask for the finished, PSD file, the Photoshop file, or the Adobe Illustrator file. So I would say you're looking at a minimum of 2 business days before you get something that you can use. And then most of the projects that we work on, it winds up being 4 or 5, sometimes even 6 business days. If you say, oh, I want a logo design, which that's a whole nother deal. Like we've done the logo design and really all you get is a graphic. That's what you get. You don't get a brand mark. Folks think they want a logo. You don't want a logo. You want a brand marker, something that people can associate your business with, a visual indicator. So how can you get the most out of unlimited graphic design? Because as much as I have positive or negative to say about it, how can you actually get the most out of it? If you do choose to use an unlimited graphic production service, right? Because it's not design, it's production. They're just going to produce a whole bunch of stuff. There's a few things that you're going to want to do in order to get the most out of that. So in order to make these services work for you, number one, you need to have brand guidelines. And at the very least, you need to have a strong brand marker. So a logo that contains multiple variations. You want a logo that's stacked where the icon is on top of the word mark. A logo that's horizontal where the icon is next to the word mark. You want to have icon only. And there's a good chance you want to have just the font type only, right? So text only, icon and text stacked, and then icon and text side by side. Those 4 variations are probably going to give you everything that you need ever when it comes to your business logo design. On top of that, you're going to want to have colors. If you can deliver colors to the unlimited graphic people and say, stay within these colors, you're going to get much more consistent output. All right. You want to have at least a primary color, a secondary color, and 1 accent. It's really helpful to have like 5 colors and then have a version of black that you like to use and have a version of white that you like to use. So if you have, 3 main colors plus a black plus a white, you're going to be in good shape getting consistent colors. If you have a good horizontal, a good stacked, a good icon, and a good font type, you're going to get good consistent design. So those are the first couple things. The next thing that you want is you want to pick out a couple fonts. Okay, if you pick out a couple fonts and you say stay within these fonts, then you're not going to be giving the designer the freedom to go out there and pick whatever fonts they want to pick. They're going to design something, and just by the fact that they're using the same fonts you're using, it's going to be consistent. It's going to look better than it would be if they just kind of picked the different fonts, based upon whatever they could find on dafont.com or like Font Squirrel or something like that. Or whatever they can find inside of the Adobe type kit. So you want to pick your logos and have a well-established stacked logo, horizontal logo, icon, word mark. You want to have your colors, and then you want to have your fonts picked out. And typically you'll want to have 2 fonts, one that's a serif and one that's a sans serif. You've got your logo, a well-designed logo, a great color palette, okay? You've got your fonts established. What do you really want from there? What do you really need from there? I like to have something called visual style examples. At Shrine Media, we develop something called visual marketing assets. Okay? And what these visual marketing assets do is it provides our brand displayed across different visual applications. So we will show the artist, we'll show the designer, we'll say, hey, we need some new graphics design. Here are 5 examples of what we like our graphics to look like when it's on social. And then we provide an example. Here's an example of what we like our graphics to look like when it's on our website. Here's an example of what the thumbnails look like that we do for YouTube videos. And so we give them 5, 6, 7 examples of what our graphics are supposed to look like. And we say, keep the look and feel consistent with this style of graphic. And that does a really good job of giving them parameters. You see, a lot of times people think, oh, I want creativity, right? I don't want parameters. I don't want to put restrictions. No, you want parameters and you want restrictions. Think about a baseball field. Today's opening day. If there were not foul poles, we wouldn't know what a home run is. We wouldn't know what a fair ball is. We wouldn't know what a foul ball is. Everything would just be all over the map and it would be chaos. The rules provide guidelines so we know what success looks like and we know what still need to work on it, right? Because failure is just an opportunity to get it right again, right? Another opportunity. So you want those restrictions. You want those guidelines. You want to tell your designer, here's our logo, here's our colors, here's our fonts, here's our visual style, and then here are some examples of that applied into other applications. Okay, so you've got the hard stuff down now. If you submit a request to an unlimited graphic design service and say, hey, I'm doing an event, I need a graphic that's a featured graphic that I can print on a flyer, they'll get pretty close to something that's going to consistently represent your brand if you deliver all those things. Other thing that you want to be very, very clear on exactly what you're creating. Tell them, I am creating a graphic to post to Facebook, or I am creating a graphic to post to Pinterest, and then give them the design dimensions. Tell them exactly what the dimensions are supposed to be. So for instance, a thumbnail image that's being shared on Facebook is to be 1200 by 630, right? A graphic that's going to be displayed on Instagram that looks really good needs to be what? Like 1024 by 1024, 1400 by 1400, 1080 by 1080, a square, 1:1 ratio. Tell them exactly what you're designing and what the dimensions are supposed to be. That way it doesn't come back and it's all whacked out and then it takes another 2 days for them to get it right. I've found that even when I give explicit directions on what the size is to be or what the colors are supposed to be, there's still times when they come back and it's not the right size or it's not the right colors. You have to be very, very specific, and even then, they'll sometimes get it wrong. So it's not a surefire, hey, you're going to get exactly what you're asking for. It's going to be perfect right away. There's a really, really good chance that it's going to be different than what you're requesting, even though you thought you made yourself clear. So the next thing after that is you want to tell them exactly what program you want them to design in. So especially if you're going to make changes to it, or if you're asking them to design something like a template, tell them what program you want them to design it in. If you want Photoshop, tell Photoshop, because if you don't say Photoshop, they're going to design it in Illustrator. If you want Illustrator, say Illustrator, because if you don't tell them Illustrator, they're going to design it in InDesign. There's a good chance it's going to be designed in a software. No matter what software you're using, and no matter if you use all of them, chances are what you request is going to be designed in a different type of software, and you're going to get it back. You'll be like, I don't know how to edit this. I never do this type of graphic design in Illustrator, and you're going to feel like you have to keep going back to them. It's just going to take even longer. So that's the truth about unlimited graphic design services, and that is a list of recommendations of things that you should do in order to get the best and most value out of utilizing a graphic design service.